Hi everyone and welcome back. We're about to go on to the next dungeon that we have after completing the Tamtara Deepcroft. So we're going to speak to Mother Mimoni again. Call of the Desert. Mimoni has information on a new task. So let's see what she has to say. So you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Mimoni, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you to the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Claire, and good luck. Okay, so we have to head off to the Quicksand. Purchase passage to Ul'dah. And once more, I forgot that you can do cutscenes that skip this part. I'll have to go back to that soon and fix that. Yeah, one reason that I really do want to change is that the cutscenes take forever. Here we are, the steps of Nald. We're going to be descending, and we're going to go see what Mimoni has for us to do. Okay, so the Ruby Road Exchange. And it's right through here, one of several different entrances, and here is Mimoni. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you ain't here for ale, are you called Claire Fay by any chance? Mimoni sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment, and that ain't no small praise coming from her. If you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle, doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? And that's it for Call of the Desert. Ooh, we got a level up too. Bio 2. Okay, so we're gonna go see what she has for us to do now in a minute. So that's the mask that we got last time. Okay, into a Copperbell. Mimoni is waiting to brief you on your task, and we can get belts this time around. Okay, so let's accept and see where this takes us. The proprietor ought to be arriving any moment now. Gods almighty, another second under that sun and I would have been set afire. Tankard of ale, if you'd be so kind. Excellent timing, Papa Sean. It just so happens the adventurer who'll be handling your petition is here. So this winsome lass is the much-lauded adventurer, is she? Marvelous, marvelous. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lady. I am Papa Sean, formerly of the Sultan's Sworn. I thank you for agreeing to lend us your aid. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Claire of her mission? Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amidia & Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of a clan known as the Hecatonnerese. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems that they managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. Well, it's no wonder they're angry, but didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, my lady. The people of that age used the Hecatonries to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way of such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecatonries, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels, so it was with the great giant revolt ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now that got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. It's always the same. We always dig too deep. God, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries? That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There'll be no more mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is a task which we would have you undertake. I'll not deny that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg of you, put an end to this sorry business. God bless you. I fear you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you didn't know, Copperbell mines are in the western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee at Amija's son is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Misa, and he knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. Quest accepted. I have a feeling that I was pronouncing that name wrong, but I'm sorry about that. Looking for Painted Misa? You found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You got guts, miss. I just hope you got skills to go with them, 'cause things ain't pretty down there. The Hecatonries left the place in the right state, and nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ul'dah dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torch is keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. Hope of the nations rests on you, friend. Best of luck. It's always the same. You think that they would learn by now. There is such a thing as digging too deep. They dug too deep, that's the problem. They never learn their lesson. Yes, that was a Lord of the Rings reference. I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings for a time. But we'll be moving on. So we're to head to Western Thanalan. Which I believe the exit is around here. Yep, Western Thanalan. So, right up there. Copperbell Mines. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a walk. And, you know what, I think I'm just going to skip ahead just a little bit. So you don't have to spend time watching me run the whole way. And this here shows some of the miners standing outside, clearly not working. Oh, and look who's waiting for us. I've been an adventurer for long years, and bore witness to many a prodigal moment in history. Though the times may have changed, the essence of our trade has not. Adventuring has ever been a quest for self-betterment through challenges freely faced. Never shall it remain so. As an adventurer becomes more experienced, he will naturally acquire a love of justice and an understanding of the spirit of self-sacrifice. Such experiences cannot be measured by any tangible way, yet the most assuredly shapes who we are, grounded as it is decisions we have made on our journey and their consequences, good or ill. I sense a light within you, young one, and it tells me that you are destined for greatness. I knew I liked this guy. We have found Dolores Bear and his entire party dead. The giants were thorough in their work. Oh no! Judging by their tracks, it would seem they tried to rush a horde of the creatures. I cannot say for sure what drove an inexperienced crew like theirs to throw caution to the wind, but I do have my suspicions. We are our own worst critics, and our desires to better past achievements can rob us of good sense. Thus do we become more given to recklessness. While it is important to have goals, one must not fixate upon them to the illusion of all else. Do so, and one will surely pay the price, as Dolores Bear and his comrades did this day. Right, the company that we have seen so far in the past. That was sad. There's been an incident inside Copperbell mines. We are here to ensure that the effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the hecatonneries? I didn't think that Papa Shun would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter it at will. Okay, so gonna sign up for the duty finder, and I'll be back to you all as soon as it pops. Here we go, it finally popped. That took a while. Okay, we're about to head inside. And we're going to be facing off against giants in the mines. I just realized how strange that sounded. Whew. Okay, so we aren't the only ones who are new here, it looks like. Looks like our tank might be new too. Well, that's good to see. Or it just might have been talking about us. Either way. So, doesn't look like too much trouble here. We just have some cold bears and some spriggans to deal with. Okay, so once these guys are down, we just go over to the sealed blasting door. Because they dropped a key. I like the idea of these elevators. Once everyone's in, you just have to hit the lever, and this happened to me a few times before. Somebody goes rushing in and activates the lever before everyone is even inside the elevator, and it goes down without them. Don't worry though, it always comes right back up for you, so that's good to see. So, some more spriggans. I've always thought of them as like giant dust bunnies. That's always what I had the impression of. So I think down here is supposed to be just added creatures, just for a little bit more experience, and maybe a treasure chest. We won't bother with that for right now. Instead, we're gonna go this way, and we have a giant, it looks like, coming out through the wall. So this is one of the giants that we'll be facing. Not as dangerous as the others are when you go down deeper, but still big, ugly, and swinging around a heavy-looking hammer. I mean, you can't really blame these guys for being pissed off with us. I mean, we weren't the ones who did it, so it's not really our fault, but you can't blame them for being angry at our ancestors for locking them down there to begin with. So, we got some more Spriggans, Goblins, Sprites. Nothing too dangerous, just really annoying. Piece of advice, people, don't go rushing off and gathering too much than you can handle. I've had tanks who go charging in, heck, I'm guilty of that myself, to go charging in and just collect as many as possible, because I think that that will get them through the dungeon faster. Well, that's all well and good if your healer can keep up. So don't go too fast that your healer can't keep up, otherwise you're going to be there forever. And it's going to be embarrassing if you get yourself killed by a Spriggan, of all creatures. And who wants to admit that they got beaten by a giant black furry rabbit? Right, so we have a couple more sprites. Easy enough. Some more Spriggans up ahead. Yeah, you're gonna get real sick of Spriggans real quickly. Okay. Over here is the fire sand, which we're going to need to go deeper. We should be coming across the first boss soon. And Okay, so there's supposed to be another bag of fire sand. So once you have both bags, you just put them at the base of the stone there and then blow it up. And this here, as my colleagues are so eager to test, is where the first boss is supposed to be. Now, at first, it's not difficult. We just have a few waves of Spriggans, though they are very weak. They're very easy to take care of. And you just have to keep your eye on things that are going to be dropping down from that little perch, like right up there. See, you have some Spriggans jumping out. Like I said, they are not a problem to deal with, but eventually we're going to have a few different mobs come in to fight us. think we might have some bombs, and then a giant comes tumbling down that we have to take care of. Yep, here we go. The flame boo. Just a little bomb. A little bit tougher than the Spriggans, but still very easy to take out. And another flame boo. And once you see the second one, then it's a sign that the giant will be coming soon. I think this might be the last wave of Spriggans that we have to deal with. So they fall from up there, and they also appear in like two separate corners of the room. Like two opposite ends. Right, there's a third flame boo there. And there we go. Krotos. Krotos is the giant. And just wait for it. There he is. So he's not a problem either. Pretty easy to take down. And once he falls, we unlock the next area. There we go. See? It's unlocked. Grab the key. Treasure chest. Here we have some errant souls. And I think another elevator right up ahead. Ooh, another level up. Oh, and for those of you who didn't know, we have another treasure chest like right in that little corner. Oh, okay. Thank you, King. Don't go on ahead without me, though. So down here, we're going to be looking for more fire sand to blast apart the wall there. And nothing from this guy, but in the two separate rooms on either side of us, there's going to be fire sand. So, which way? We'll go this way first. Okay, so one of these guys is carrying the fire sand, so you just have to kill all three and see which one of them drops it. There we go. The blasting cap drops 6 ounce pinch of fire sand. And where did you come from? Sneaking up behind me to attack. How rude of you. Okay. And it looks like we got the fire sand. And I think that this blasting cap is going to drop the second. And there's a treasure coffer right through here in this tiny room. There we go. Okay, we got the fire sand. Place that at the base there, where that glowing light was, and now, boom! Some more fire sand. And here's the second boss. Now, this guy is going to be tricky to fight, because it doesn't matter how many times you hit this guy, you can't do much damage. Instead, you're going to need this blasting cap. So you just draw it up close to the giant piece of slime there, and wait for the blasting cap about to go off. There we go, and explodes the slime into two smaller slimes. The damage is going to be a little bit better, but still nowhere near enough damage. That's why you have to wait. There we go. The blasting device is going to call forth another blasting cap. And once that happens, a Spriggan will sometimes appear to attack the blasting cap and kill it before it has a chance to explode. Take care of the Spriggan as soon as possible. And here we have 4 of the slime balls. So once you get down to this level, you just have one more round with the blasting cap to deal with. Because then it's going to separate them into 8, but they're going to be so weak at that point, they're going to be very easy to kill. Okay, and I think we can leave the Spriggan to everyone else. And there we go. As you can see, they go down very quickly. A very different kind of mechanic, but I enjoy this mechanic, to be honest. And there we go. We got some fire sand. Hey. We just blast our way through to the last part. And there are 2 different, I suppose, roads you can call them that you can take. I suppose this one is the one that's less traveled, less monsters anyway. So we take care of these 2 things into the main area. So it's really mechanics that kind of slow you down in this place, not the actual monsters. Because it's really not that far. And then we head down here, through here. Darn it! Stood still a little too long. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, guys. Seriously, why do they keep coming after me? Right, so right now it's just the pain of dealing with these monsters that's the problem. But hey, extra experience points, so everybody loves that, right? Right, so we just take down these last few bits and pieces. And we're almost at the end. Okay, then once these 2 fall, we take this little path where a couple more monsters are going to be waiting for us. I suppose if you're sneaky enough, you can slip by them. Guess it wasn't sneaky enough. But one good thing is that through this little corner here, there is a treasure chest. And I think these 2 are the last ones that we have to deal with before we can take on the final boss. Straight down this way. Slaves no more. Free. Free. Ugly, aren't they? But here is the final boss. Masters must pay. Masters must die. Never again. Never! The fight for this guy is pretty simple, straightforward. Just focus all your attacks on the giant here. He's going to try to break through parts of the wall, which are going to release stone giants as well, and they're going to try to break down other parts of the wall so that more mobs will come in to help fight. And you can go after the ads if you want to. Personally, I don't see much of a point with that, because you just have to really focus your attention on this guy here, because once he falls, then that's the end of the dungeon. See, he's already trying to release a stone servant. And you can go after them, like I said, you can deal with them for now if you don't want to have to deal with more ads later on. But like I said, it's really not necessary. Just focus your attention on this stone giant. I mean, we're already more than halfway down at this point. Relatively easy. And the stone servants don't really do that much damage anyway. Almost there. How can we not have a limit break? Didn't we have one before? I don't know. Okay, and almost there. There we go. And that was a successful little run through the mines. Oh, so that was fun. We got the acolyte robe. Yeah, I can let someone else have that. Okay, so now we head on out of here. Leave duty, yes. So that was fun. That was the Copperbell mines. Simple enough to understand, simple enough to do. But I still personally enjoy it every time we run through it. So, I'm gonna head straight back to Ul'dah, talk to Mamodi. And we're gonna be calling it quits very soon before we go on to the next part. And so those were the first 3 dungeons of the game. We're going to have many, many more, so there's no need to worry about it. So I'll just sprint the rest of the way there. And I'm trying to remember which dungeon's next. I can't really recall just now, but I'm sure it's going to be coming up very soon. And it looks like we have another instant dungeon, so before we go on to that, we're just going to call it quits for right now. And I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.